Vanarottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 10 and Text 3. Sūta Uvacha. Prashnan Prita Pratyahatan Prashnan Rudistan Atha Bhārgava Rudistan Atha Bhārgava Evam Sanchoditastena Shatra Kausharavi Munihi Prita Pratyahatan Prashnan Rudistan Atha Bhārgava Sūta Uvacha Evam Sanchoditastena Shatra Kausharavi Munihi Prita Pratyahatan Prashnan Rudistan Atha Bhārgava. Sūta Uvacha. Sri Sūta Gosvāmī said, Evam, thus, Sanchoditaha, being enlivened, Tena, by him, Shatra, by Vidura, Kausharavihi, the son of Kushara, Munihi, great sage, Pritaha, being pleased, Pratyaha, replied, Tan, those, Prashnan, questions, Rudistan, from the core of his heart, Atha, thus, Bhārgava, son of Bhṛgu. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Sūta Gosvāmī said, O son of Bhṛgu, the great sage Maitreya Muni, thus hearing from Vidura, felt very much enlivened. Everything was in his heart, and thus he began to reply to the questions one after another. Please repeat. Sūta Gosvāmī said, O son of Bhṛgu, the great sage Maitreya Muni, thus hearing from Vidura, felt very much enlivened. Everything was in his heart, and thus he began to reply to the questions one after another. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The phrase Sūta Uvacha, Sūta Gosvāmī said, appears to indicate a break in the discourse between Maharaj Parikshit and Shukadeva Gosvāmī. While Shukadeva Gosvāmī was speaking to Maharaj Parikshit, Sūta Gosvāmī was only one member of a large audience. But Sūta Gosvāmī was speaking to the sages of Naimisharanya, headed by the sage Shaunaka, a descendant of Shukadeva Gosvāmī. This, however, does not make any substantial difference in the topics under discussion. Dasanstha Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Madhyanatimidan Dasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here in this shloka we see Sūta Gosvāmī appearing in this particular leela, and he is explaining the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. The thread or the sequence or the conclusion is continuing. But here we see, instead of Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Gosvāmī, suddenly we are hearing Sūta Gosvāmī speaking to the sages of Naimisharanya. But there is no difference, substantial difference in the topic under discussion. The thread is continuing. Sūta Gosvāmī is explaining how Shatra means Vidura. He was hearing from Kausharavi Munihi, a great sage Maitreya Muni. So when Vidura asked questions, Tan Prashnan, immediately Maitreya Muni was explaining everything, because the whole this confidential transcendental knowledge is situated. Hrudisthan is in his heart, and so immediately he started speaking. It is said in the Shastras that the real import of this knowledge is actually hidden in the hearts of a pure devotee. So here we can see the same thread, but various great sages are discussing about the same conversation. The conversation originally between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Gosvāmī, but same conclusions were repeated by Sūta Gosvāmī to the sages, and in the same conclusions are communicated to us by Prabhupada in the same Parampara. One very important principle that Prabhupada explains is that the disciplic succession means to keep the disciplic conclusions intact. How do you recognize the Parampara? Because anywhere you touch, you see the same disciplic conclusions. That is the most important criteria of the Parampara. The spirit of knowledge has to continue. From Acharya to Acharya, the spirit of the knowledge that continues. The conclusions remain same. Centuries may pass by, millenniums may pass by, but the conclusions never change. And as soon as that the spirit is changed, those conclusions are adjusted or interpreted. That is called breakage of disciplic succession. Disciplic succession doesn't break because of an acharya passing away, physically not to be seen. The disciplic succession breaks if somebody tampers with the spirit of that knowledge. If the conclusions are changed, then the parampara is broke. Parampara is broken by changing the books of Prabhupada, changing the conclusions, not because Prabhupada is physically not present. If an acharya intelligently creates a system in order to continue the conclusions after his physical disappearance. See, previously the parampara was continued because there was no system possible to ensure that the knowledge is intact. So one acharya physically speaks to the disciple, then the disciple, he is so exalted, pure devotee, he has unshakable faith on Krishna, and with his great commitment he will not change even one word, and then he will repeat the same knowledge. So that's so the knowledge is kept intact, conclusions are kept intact. And then he gives to his disciples, and among them whoever is the most qualified, a Bhagavatottama, then he is authorized to again initiate further. And then because of his great commitment to Krishna, to the parampara, he will also not change one conclusion. And then it goes down. It came to Prabhupada, 32nd Acharya. Now Prabhupada, can he create a system by which the knowledge can continue, the conclusions can continue, despite his physical disappearance? Yes, Prabhupada has created a system. By his system, there is an organization. This organization concept is not there. Before Britishers, they established the railways and a big organization they have created. Before that, such tools are not there. Such technology is not there. Organization concept came. Printing of books, how to preserve those teachings so that the conclusions are passed on to the next generation. This is all considered a system. So, if an acharya can create such a system by which the conclusions are reaching to generation after generation, he is living. Parampara has not broken. If you change those books and interpret in your own way, then parampara is broken. Not because Prabhupada has physically disappeared, parampara has broken. That is a very wrong understanding. So, if Prabhupada's conclusions are carried on, Prabhupada says, I am living in my teachings, I am living in my books, then where is the problem? He is saying I am living. Now who are you to say he is not living? They say one should approach a living spiritual master. Yes, that is the rule. You have to approach a living spiritual master. But then how can you say Prabhupada is not living? So there is a camp in ISKCON. That camp is physical guru camp. They say guru has to be physically present. Then only he will be considered as living. Doesn't matter what and all he does. It doesn't matter some body should be there. He should be breathing in front of me. This is their philosophy. Recently there is one one letter or one message. Some Swamy, I don't want to mention the name, he's been appointed as a Diksha Guru of ISKCON. And why? 3 months they have waited for any objection to come from anybody. Nobody gave any objection. So GBC has appointed him as a Diksha Guru because there are no objections from anybody. There is an NOC given, no objection certificate. Tap, stamp maar diya. And then he has become a Diksha Guru. So now if you see in this physical Guru camp, what and all happens, you see, they say all the Gurus are Sakshat Haritvena. They're as good as God, Krishna. And then GBC will tell, GBC means the physical Guru GBC, they will tell that you have to approach a current link to the disciplic succession. You cannot jump and go to the previous Gurus. What they mean is that don't go to Acharyas who very often so dead and gone. Now currently who is living one physical body, you go to him. And then that physical body will represent the greatest acharyas of the Parampara. They are the current links, 33rd or 34, we don't know the numbers. And at the same time, ISKCON warns the disciples. What is the warning? Our approval, GBC approval doesn't mean, is not automatically taken as a statement about the degree of God realization of the approved Guru. They are saying we are appointing him as Diksha Guru, but it is not automatically indication that he has realized God. We are not sure about it. Not automatically taken as a statement about the degree of God realization. And somewhere else they have cautioned, it is not that we are endorsing that this person is a pure devotee. And also we have no guarantee that he has achieved a specific realization of Krishna. This is what openly they have published. In the GBC rule book, if you see, and some of these statements says, okay, we are appointing somebody as a Diksha Guru because no objection certificate came. But we should consider him as good as Vishnu. He is a current link. And then you say, we don't know how much he realized. be careful. Basically, GBC is saying, you accept him as a Guru at your own risk. Like we say, no, you park the car at your own risk. We have no objection for parking, but we cannot guarantee anything. If it is lost. Similarly, they are appointing all these Gurus and saying, no guarantee. We are not endorsing that he is pure devotee, that is your risk. So this physical Guru system, what was created, has become a lottery system. Somebody happens to meet so-called those Guru who is appointed. Nowhere Prabhupada says Guru can be appointed by no objection certificate. They have one Shastric Advisory Council. This Guru, physical Guru, even their own Shastric Advisory Council said, nowhere it is mentioned that Guru can be appointed, removed, or rubber stamped. No objection certificate can be given. they know nowhere it is mentioned. So if you look at the physical guru camp or the so-called the tradition, we are traditional, we are continuing the parampara. This camp, if you see, the kind of words that you hear is guru. You need a physical guru, but sometimes he can fall down because of too much work. Is traveling, is initiating so many people, and so many feasts he has to accept, 108 offerings, and so many people are washing feet. So, you may get sick and you may fall down also. Because if you eat too much, you will fall down. So, all these things are possible. If he falls down, then you go for reinitiation. Accept one more body. If that body goes off, no problem, you accept one more. There are devotees who have accepted 2-3 times initiations. One guru gone, second guru gone, third initiation. He is not able to understand what is this parampara. What is this parampara? Which parampara you have? Radha Govinda. Their concept is guru can fall down. So this is a dangerous deviation. Where did the parampara conclusion says that? Prabhupada says the Diksha Guru should be a resident of Krishna Loka. And he says this is the first consideration. Resident of Krishna Loka. This is the first proposition. Prabhupada never said, he can be a lottery. We'll take some name. 3 months nobody is objecting, so he is Guru. Now you initiate. So somebody has to offer his life, his wealth, his time, his energy to a lottery candidate. And then this is the kind of philosophy that you preach. A Diksha Guru needn't be a Uttamadhikari. He can fall down. Reinitiation, where you type entire Prabhupada's literature, where is this reinitiation gone? What is this reinitiation? So, very, very difficult for the other, these physical guru-adis to understand all this. As soon as the conclusion is changed, they are out of parampara. Forget about big concepts. One word, one conclusion you change, you are out of parampara. There is no spiritual potency. Big classes, big views, big all these things may be there, but it will not be effective. Ultimately, it will all be a show. It's like a placards. They fall off. When they will fall off, nobody knows. After accepting Guru, it is said that a bona fide Guru takes away the anxieties of the disciple. He takes away all the anxieties of the disciple. This is bona fide Guru. But in this physical Guru system, what is happening is, after accepting the Guru, now you are in anxiety, whether this fellow will be there or not. Every day I am worshipping, and tomorrow if he is not available, then what will happen? This is the problem. So many conclusions are changed. So many. When it comes to Guru issue, I have no idea. Let us see some of the statements of these so-called Gurus. One Guru is saying, the law of disciplic succession is that one approaches a living spiritual master, living in the sense of being physically present. Physically present. This is their main point. Prabhupada is saying, although a physical body is not present, the vibration should be accepted as the presence of the spiritual master. Vibration, what we have heard from the spiritual master, that is living. Directly contradicting. What is the conclusion of Prabhupada? And you see what is the conclusion of the so-called Guru. Then the famous Hridayananda Swamy is saying, Srila Prabhupada, did also consider his physical presence to have some significant relevance in the issue of disciplic succession. Again, physical, because they have no other logic. Such, Prabhupada is saying, such association with Krishna and the spiritual master should be association by vibration, not physical presence. One more. Although physically we are not together, we are not separated spiritually. So we should be concerned only with this spiritual connection. This is what Prabhupada is. Directly contradicting what Prabhupada. So this is called breaking of Parampara. The 32nd Acharya is saying this, and the so-called 33rd, 34 are saying this. Now you decide who is in Parampara. As soon as somebody changes these conclusions, it has no meaning. That Parampara has no meaning. It has no spiritual potency. Forget about many things. Only one conclusion if they change also, they are not in Parampara. They are so strict. The spirit of knowledge cannot be changed. How we communicate that spirit, some application of that knowledge is spread, each Acharya can create his own system. Based on time, place and circumstances, he can create a certain system and ensure that these conclusions are spread generations after generation. Prabhupada has very intelligently created an organization and a group of Siksha Gurus and a system of books, daily classes, association with his books, his Vani. In so many ways, Prabhupada has created a complete system by which we understand the conclusions of Parampara. You see, in our group, Diksha Guru, nobody will say that a Diksha Guru can fall. Nobody will say. That one point is enough for somebody to become disqualified. But then why are they not able to perceive all this? If somebody objectively sees that yes, in this physical camp, so many points are, so many conclusions are completely different. What kind of a parampara is this? Easily it is easy to see, but they will not be able to see because of Maya. What is that illusion? Everybody else is falling off. My Guru is safe. My Guru never fell last 30-40 years. But he is foolish. He is not understanding that very system is wrong. As soon as somebody becomes part of the system, he is fallen. Fallen means people think physically he has to go with one woman or a man or a child. This is what they think. But fallen means as soon as somebody becomes a guru, based on this guru, physical guru concept, is fallen. It doesn't matter whether he has physically fallen or not. He is already fallen. Anyway, one point I want to tell. Recently, maybe more we can discuss in our internal group. Recently, the one of the gurus in Mayapur is running Mayapur Gurukul school for decades. Anyway, he got implicated in some child abuse case. There are a lot of complaints about him. A guru, a Diksha Guru. And years together they have not done anything. Finally there is a pressure. So GBC has appointed somebody to investigate. Of course, the kind of points that came out, we cannot even discuss. This is a very auspicious class. We will not be able to discuss. But why I am saying this, the committee which has investigated has proven without any, beyond any doubt, that this man has done all the vicious things, including beating up and abusing and this and that, so many things he has done. So it has recommended a very strong action. He should not be allowed to enter any ISKCON temple. He should not be allowed to give any class on this and that. I was thinking, wow, taking some action on this. And then in that report, what it says in the end, BVPS may hold private sanghas for his already initiated disciples. Off ISKCON property, not in ISKCON property, somewhere outside, where he can continue to give class and lead kirtan to his already initiated disciples. These can also be held online, these classes, but should not be advertised or posted in public forums or on social media, Facebook and all. He is so dangerous, he cannot speak and he cannot, but his disciples he can continue. You can see what Maya is working there. He has been censured, he has been done all this, he cannot even visit the in ISKCON temple, this, that, but he can continue. His Sangha, his association, what association? He can continue his association to already initiated disciples. Some bakaras are still there. You continue. Your drama, you continue. How long it will go on, we don't know. That is your luck. You continue. So this is the kind of scenario. What we see, the flashy things and this and that, or internet, media, this, that's all one. What actually going on is this. They are living in a fool's paradise. They created a paradise within a foolish framework of a physical guru tradition and this and that. So they may cheat. For some time they can go on cheating. But ultimately it will all be falling apart. So since the devotees are realizing, thanks to the technological advancements, all this WhatsApp, Facebook, media, all those things have one good effect. What is that? They can no more hide these informations. It's all available on the net. It's all available on the social media. So many people are waking up. They're realizing that there is something going wrong. One point any sincere devotee should recognize is keep an eye on these conclusions. Even if one conclusion is different, he should know he has deviated. He has whatever so-called that guru and so-called that guru's parampara is no more ISKCON, is no more in the parampara. Sometimes they accuse, oh, you people are not ISKCON, you are Hare Krishna. Yes, we don't want to be with you. Physical, you are not in parampara anyway. Whoever is repeating, whoever is accepting Prabhupada's conclusions, they are in parampara. They are the real parampara propagators. Not the people who minimize and dilute the Diksha Guru's position and give warnings that we don't guarantee his realization. People without any spiritual realization, Krishna conscious realization, they are sitting in Vyasasana and receiving the worship of as good as God. What kind of a parampara is this? Foolishly worshipping some people in the name of continuing the parampara, in the name of accepting karma. So here that's why Prabhupada is saying that we should not be thinking that this is some break, some kind of a break here. No, the conclusions are same. There is no substantial difference. There is no substance difference. Sūta Gosvāmī is also quoting same Vidura and Maitreya conversation. Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami is also quoting the same conversation and same conclusions. So the parampara or the line of thinking, the spirit of knowledge is continuing. This is the most crucial point. Very, very sad to see that in the name of ISKCON, in the name of Prabhupada, a wrong philosophy is been propagated by this physical guru camp. Any questions? Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక